Welcome to Grumpy Old Men, and my name's Tim Newton, and this is Steve Rosse, just in case you didn't know.
G'day.
Rubbed off on you.
Yeah.
We've been away for a few weeks.
Yeah, well, I was ready.
It does take...
I had the duck in my arms ready to go.
The surgery does take a little while to sort of settle in.
Yeah, you don't want to be seen. You want to lock yourself in a dark room for weeks with buckets of ice cream.
It is very bright here.
The black eyes heal.
Speaking of which, I note that there's somewhat of a little addition since last time we saw you.
Yeah,
you could have got gold. Why did you get plastic?
I know, gold with a diamond set into it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's. Thank you for noticing. Yeah, my tooth.
Oh, you could paint it.
Die.
You could pop it out and paint it gold.
I could actually. It pops in and out, easy peasy. I could paint it gold with some enamel, and hopefully not give myself lead poisoning. And then, yeah, there we are.
Oh, but it'd be worth it.
Would it?
Sure.
Oh, for you, boss. For you, I'll do it. Yeah. No. But I'm very pleased to have it. 2,500 baht. Took a week to get it done.
Thai dentistry.
Yeah, no shots, no drilling, no construction at all. The most elaborate part of the whole process was the mold. You know, they put that gooey stuff in your mouth.
Yeah.
And immediately I got a rash. I don't know if I had an allergic reaction to that.
You've had a few rashes lately.
Well, no, I had one that stuck around for about a week. A big body rash, but I don't know if it was new soap in the laundry lady's tub, or I ate something unusual, or it was this gooey mess they put in your mouth to take an impression. But that took all of 60 seconds, and other than that, it was simply, what's your name, address, and phone number, and here's a tooth.
2,500 baht.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt. I eat with it. I drink with it. You know, I don't wear it all the time because I don't need to be pretty all the time. But certainly for doing these things, yeah,
pretty,
I'll wear
you
it.
say?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you know, I owe it to the audience to try to look my best. That's why I really take a lot of care in picking out my wardrobe. Yeah, if you've noticed. And trimming my eyebrows. Oh my God, I got slammed this week about my eyebrows. Look, it's genetic. I don't paint them on or anything. This is how they grow, and sometimes they get bushy. And
your eyebrows make up for mine. I'm almost eyebrowless.
Yeah. Between us, we make a normal human being.
Sure.
Yeah.
Roughly.
But oh my God, they let me know in the comment section, boy.
Of course they do.
They took me to school about my eyebrows this week.
So the absence of grumpy old men for 2 weeks. Apparently, we've had a big fight.
We should mention where we are.
Oh, where are we, Steve?
Really, really good coffee.
This is actually good coffee.
Yes, it is. This is a restaurant called Fashi, which is...
I beg your pardon?
Yeah. It is that plastic mesh dome that country people put over leftover food. If you've ever seen that,
we have those in Australia as well because we have flies.
Yeah, I suppose. In Iowa, we eat everything on our plate. We don't have leftover food. We don't have words in the Iowan language to describe leftover food. But, yeah, that is what a fa chi is. A fa meaning a lid or covering, and I don't know what chi is. No, not that. I know what you're thinking. It's not that chi. But, at any rate, this is a place on the road. I've driven past it 1,000 times. It's on the road outside Kok Kloi. Phuket is, what, 10 minutes that way?
Easy 10 minutes.
Turtle Beach is 10 minutes that way, and it's a really elegant
and the new airport is that way.
Yes, and that's why we're on 2 6-lane roads out in the middle of the boonies, because someday there's going to be an airport over there and the beach over there. But yeah, Fashi, never been here before. 18 months I've lived in this neighborhood, never tried it. And boy, I'm glad I did. It's not that expensive. The food was terrific, and the coffee's great.
And look at it from the outside. It sort of looks like a modern glass and sort of black steel building. But when you go inside, it's very traditional. They've got a lot of cane and timber. This table we're sitting on is would be nearly 2 meters, or about 1.6 meters in diameter. Which is about, what, 17 miles?
Yeah.
How many gallons is that?
A week and 4 days. I don't know.
And it is that thick. I can barely get my fingers around it.
It's thing is 6 inches thick. This is a
solid
single piece of wood, 6 inches thick, and a disc about Oh, what'd you say? 70 centimeters? What? Yeah,
I said it's about 1.4
Yeah.
meter diameter.
Big thumbs up for Fashi.
Yeah,
They've
recommend
even
it.
got a smoke machine. I don't know why, but they're pumping smoke out of the sign in front of the store, like an effect, like a lighting effect. I'm sure at night it's very dramatic.
It's like when they put dry ice into like a fountain. I think it's dry ice because it doesn't seem to be rising.
No.
It seems,
Well, that is the difference.
Looks.
Dry ice is for if you're doing the Thriller video and you're in a cemetery. Dry ice, the fog is colder than the surrounding air, so it sinks. It hugs the ground. Every other form of fog machine or smoke machine is a mist in the air. It's diffused, and that's doing both. I don't know what.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's dry ice. That would be prohibitively expensive to run all day long. And you don't care because you
Don't touch the
you
fucking
can't
table.
see it.
I don't know how.
Anyway.
How can this table possibly move?
I don't know. I don't know. The thing must weigh as much as a car.
Sure.
I don't know.
Anyway, we're at Fashi, and people were speculating why we weren't doing the program. So apparently we had a big fight, and there was another reason somebody came up with.
Oh, I like the fight reason. Oh, yeah. I think we should manufacture a fight. I think we should,
You're
celebrities.
not quite in the shot there. I'll just tinkle it around a little bit. Is that a bit better? You're a bit more central now.
Yeah, that's great.
It was a bit Tim Newton show there for a while with Steve Ross.
That's
Steve,
what it always is. It's your show, man. It's your show.
Obviously not.
I'm just the second banana.
I was just going to say, Steve's got his own YouTube channel, which is Steve, Steve, just for those people that can't spell Steve, Ross, but with an E on the end.
Yeah,
And you
go
can
figure.
see Steve waxing lyrical about things about his life, about the absence of a tooth.
Just about Steve, that's all.
That's Steve.
Just talking about Steve. Yeah, every Friday. And thank you. I appreciate the plug. And you have a show every day, every morning, which is the only news show I watch. I don't watch American news. I don't watch Thai news, but I watch Tim Newton Today.
Actually, I do a show every day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah, it is. I don't know how he does it. Honest to God.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, I have been very
Anyway-
busy. More about that later.
We should manufacture a feud.
Yes.
Celebrities do this all the time. East Coast, West Coast rappers. Kylie Minogue and
Kylie doesn't have a feud with anyone.
no, Kylie and who was it? Who's dating a football player? What's that woman?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, right?
There's a feud between Kylie and Taylor
Yeah,
Swift?
I think so. Yeah, but it's manufactured. It's all made up. It's all to drive clicks or buzzes or beeps or whatever it is we're driving. Yeah. Are you really going to look up celebrity gossip
Kylie
in the middle
and
of our
what's
show?
her name? Taylor Swift.
Tay-Tay.
Tay-Tay. Kylie and Taylor. Drama. Oh my God, Kylie.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez. Why is
Selena
Taylor
Gomez
Swift so popular? Good question.
Whatever they're arguing about, we need to argue about that.
Kylie Kelsey, not Kylie Minogue, or Kylie Jenner. I think you got your Kylies mixed up.
Maybe, but Kelsey is the football player that Taylor's dating.
Okay.
But at any rate, yeah, a manufactured faux
Argy-bargy.
argy-bargy, yeah, that drives clicks. So we need to argue about you stealing the song from my latest album or something.
Oh, then we write a diss song about the other few.
Yeah, that's it.
We write the diss song.
I'll talk about you on my show, and you talk about me on your show.
Steve
If I
Ross.
may,
That extra E on the end of Ross, it's just completely invented.
Can I? It is. Well, it is. It was Rosenberg.
Oh, it is.
My father changed his
true.
name. Yeah. It is on his 18th birthday. I don't know why. Nobody knows why, because then he disappeared. Nobody ever saw him again. But on his 18th birthday, he went down to the county courthouse in L.A. and changed his name.
Is he still around?
No. But I did meet him once before he died.
Okay.
I tracked him down on the internet when the internet became a thing, and we met in Las Vegas. Thank you.
Very noisy break. He went
said
straight
you're
through
welcome.
a red light.
Yeah, he did.
As you do.
Can I give a shout out? You're talking about arguments.
No.
Can I give a shout out to another vlogger? We started with me saying something that was mistaken as an insult. I said to this guy, there's this guy named Gordon Tickle, and he does this vlog from somewhere out in the boonies. I don't know if it's north, northeast, west.
Thailand.
But he's got himself a few rye of land up there, and a house, and a woman, and a truck, and a dog, and ducks, and geese, and chickens, and pigs, and he's doing that whole country squire thing, but he's doing it right. And he's a prepper, so he'll throw every now and then some, I'm growing veg because, you know, Armageddon is breathing down our necks. But he's a real sweetheart of a guy, and I said, the first time I ever found his channel, I said, man, you sound like a hobbit. Because he does. To my American ear, he sounds just like a hobbit. Sam Gamgee, who was always talking about his rose bushes. He's in Mordor with the orcs going to stab him in the head, and he's talking about his rose bushes back in the Shire. And this guy, Gordon Tickle, he walks around his garden and introduces you to the birds and the insects and the farm animals and every plant and every insect living on every plant.
Probably gets a million views.
Well, I don't know what he gets now, but I love the channel. The guy makes my blood pressure go boop, 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 boop. He is good for my health. So I watch him nearly every day now, Gordon Tickle. And he took that comment, you sound like a hobbit. He thought I was taking a dig at him because I'm really bad at expressing myself at a keyboard, apparently. And so I've said to him, no, I meant, that's a compliment. For me, that's a compliment. And I watch him all the time, and I really like the show. So Gordon Tickle, if you're looking for a new watch about Thailand, go check him out.
The fact that he's only 4'8", it really is not nothing to do with it.
Yes,
Nothing to do with
he
it.
has hairy toes. You know, I have no idea. Gordon, like me, Gordon's show is all about Gordon. Like Steve's show is all about Steve. There's nobody. He doesn't share the frame with
Except
anybody.
he's got something to talk about.
He does. He has
Yes, that's
much
the
more to
difference.
talk about than I do. He's actually competent at gardening and birding and carpentry. Oh, he's got a great shop. I'm so jealous of his shop, his wood shop. But you know,
He's got a man cave,
he's
has
doing
he?
it. Yeah, yeah, that's what it is.
Good on
It's
him.
a place he can go that all of us need. A place where you can go and you know, I mess around with paper mache. You buy another house and decorate it, and when it's decorated, you buy another house and decorate that.
Never again.
And Gordon messes in his shop and builds stuff competently, which is not easy. The craft of carpentry and cabinetry is fairly difficult. And I really respect the guy. And yeah, if you're looking for a new watch, Gordon Tickle. Oh, his channel's his name, like my channel's my name.
Tickle.
Yeah, and he doesn't share the frame. It's always just Gordon.
Okay.
And just like it's always just Steve.
Yes.
Except
Now,
some aberrative Sundays.
we also have to thank another person who brought me a great big tin of Cadbury roses,
Yes.
which we were going to bring here, but I thought they'll melt on the way. I'll end up with this can full of brown goo.
Yeah, Cadbury's chocolates. Jack and Diane from Queensland came to visit, and they brought us a couple calendars. Which
Wow.
I've already using the calendar. I hung that on the wall. I didn't have a 2024 calendar, and I had thought, oh, I'm retired. I don't need a wristwatch anymore. I don't need a calendar. Turns out you do have to keep track of like when you're going to go get your new
90-day
tooth,
report,
and when 90-day report.
pay your rent.
When do I have to do a grumpy old men and things like that? So I've hung that calendar and I've already started using it. Yeah, so thank you for the calendar and the Cadburys, Jack and Diane from Queensland.
So at some stage, I'm sort of in the midst of renovating house number 3, which I'll then have 1, 2, and 3. I'll have, while we're here, Bonneville Beach House, Coral Cottage, and Bamboo Beach House.
Oh, I don't think I had heard that
Well,
before.
because I'll tell you why later. Anyway, the coordination of them, because the idea of these booking sites is when you book on one, it's meant to block those dates out on the other.
Right.
So that you don't get double bookings, which would just be the worst thing ever.
Yes.
Like people, it happened the very first week. I got people arriving when there were people in, very embarrassing. Oh, we're going to write the worst review about, and I thought, well, I probably deserve it.
It's different if you have a hotel with 500 rooms. You can always find a place for them.
Exactly.
You've got three.
You have to go and stay with Steve. So there's this thing called a channel manager, which then coordinates. It just sounds all too difficult for me. So I thought, why not just get a big wall planner, like a 1 year wall planner? I can have
old school, baby.
3 Texticolors, one for each property. And there it is sitting in front of me. I can see, this one's renting more than that one, and I've got this space in the middle of the year on this one, and I need to promote that. But can you find a wall planner in Thailand? No, nowhere. I've looked up and down on Lazada, Shopee, contacted all the stationers, nothing.
Yeah, I have purchased, I don't know if it's the same thing we're talking about.
A big wall planner.
Yeah, but as a whiteboard, you mean? That you can write and then erase.
Well,
month by
no.
month.
The whiteboard is the other solution where you can get a whiteboard and draw it up and then... No, the wall planner is paper.
Okay, well that, I could go with that. You can't find that. I can find whiteboards, but they're not, you write on them once and that's there. It's permanent. They don't erase. The dry erase doesn't dry erase. Twice I have been suckered that way.
Yeah.
Pens and board I paid for and they didn't work.
So I might use the calendar. It's
as
not
your booking
It's
tool.
not quite the 12-month view sitting in front of you, but no, I'm definitely going to use it. So who was that? Jack and Diane, and of course they'd never have anybody ever suggest to them the John Cougar Mellencamp song.
I was the first. Yeah.
What's the song actually?
Little ditty about Jack and Diane, 2 American kids doing the best they can. Can I tell you a story about that song?
Goes on. I'm trying to think of the name of the song.
It's called The Ballad of Jack and Diane.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, a little ditty about Jack and Diane. And he is the Jack. John Cougar Mellencamp's nickname as a teenager was Jack. And he was on the football team at his high school in Indiana, and he was dating the head cheerleader. That was Diane.
I remember him when he was Johnny Cougar.
Well,
before he became John Cougar.
Well, and then it was John Cougar Mellencamp and finally John Mellencamp, because he only changed his name because the record company originally wouldn't sign him as Mellencamp. They said, what rock star has ever had a name like Mellencamp? You have to. Well, now, rock stars have lumps of coal as their name. The artist formerly known as Pick a Sound, any sound. It's like. But back then, the A&R guys said, no, you can't be John Mellencamp. And eventually he stuck to his guns, and now he's John Mellencamp. But in 1980, I had a job as a greenskeeper on a golf course, the night greenskeeper. And my job, I was there all alone on the golf course every night from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I would drive a golf cart around this golf course moving sprinkler heads. That's when you water the fairways, is at night.
We all have to start somewhere.
And that's where I started my writing career. And the water came from deep water wells in Florida. They stink of sulfur. And it's a smell like rotten eggs, right? So all night, every night, I was soaking wet. I worked in a bathing suit because you'd have to come up on these big whirly-bird sprinklers, toosh, 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 right? And they're going around 360 degrees, and you got to sneak up on that bad boy because there's 100 pounds of pressure behind that water. It'll knock you off your feet if it hits you. You got to sneak up behind that thing, push down, twist, and pull out. And when you do, there's an eruption of this stinky egg water all over you. So all night long, I'm stinking of eggs. That was the song on the FM radio that year that they played over and over and over. So now when I hear Jack and Diane, and it's got a very distinctive riff that's just a guitar, like 6 or 8 notes on the guitar, kind of a rolling. When I hear that, I smell rotten eggs.
Hey Siri,
to this day.
The Ballad of Jack and Diane. We'll see what we can find.
And it's been sampled in a rap song recently, that diddle-diddle-dum. But at any rate, smell is the most closely connected to memory in the brain. The nerves are like sitting on top of each other. And
I think you just made that up.
No, no, it's something I smelled years ago. Something I smelled in a book years ago. But yeah, smells trigger memories. People who are in comas and people who are deep in dementia can be triggered to speech with smells. There you go. That's the fachi, the plastic dome that goes over leftover food.
Thai word for fascist. Anyway, you had other things to talk about. We'll move on from Jack and thank you, Jack and Diane, for the chocolates. They will be consumed slowly. Absolutely.
First thing I want to talk about, and I don't really have a point with this, maybe just spark a conversation and comment. It's something I talked about in my show last week.
It's all about your show.
It is, yeah, of course. Only child of a single parent. I'm very self-involved. The idea that Thai people don't like anything used. They only want new things, which means that half the country is in debt up to their eyeballs because they had to buy a new car. Doesn't matter what job they have. Doesn't matter if the house they live in is a wreck. Doesn't matter if the clothes they're wearing are old and frayed. The car has to be new.
This observation is true.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and it has led to an enormous problem with consumer debt, household debt in this country. And it means you can't find a place to park because these big damn shiny new pickup trucks everywhere. And the repo lots are full of brand new vehicles because people make a commitment that they can't ever hope to meet because they want a new vehicle, right? So, and when they come into my studio and they see, I was thinking of this because I met an artist, Phang Nga from Khao Lak this week, and he's the artist who did the big concrete statue in our plaza.
Thai Mueang.
Yeah, that is the turtle of Turtle Beach. And he's the artist who did that. He does concrete. He does great big monsters and whales and things out of concrete. So I went to visit his studio. And what he's doing personally, he does the concrete art to make a living. He does the fronts, the facades of hotels and bars and things. Dino Park, and he does big dinosaurs and rocks and shit. But what he does for himself, what he loves to do, is he takes trash off the beach and he makes art with it.
Somebody else does that?
Yes. This is the second person in Thailand. There's a woman, a lady, Canadian retired lady doctor.
It's two people who pinched your idea.
On Kok Klong Dong, who does the same thing specifically with lighters. She works specifically with lighters. He works with absolutely anything. He'll pull anything out of the water and make art with it, but he gets a lot of flack from other Thai people because they can't understand why. He went to a hotel and they had an evening, a big banquet on the beach that was to raise money for cleaning up the ocean. So they had his art as centerpieces on all the tables, and the Thais wouldn't sit at those tables and eat because there was garbage on the table.
Right.
They can't wrap their heads around anything used and old having value, particularly anything thrown away.
Let's unpack that particular thought.
Oh, am I done speaking?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's what he's here for. That's what Bob's here for. Use the duck. Use the duck.
I should use the duck. So, use the duck of it.
Here's the T-shirt.
Use the duck and don't touch the fucking table.
Steve. Use the duck.
So why is that with Thai people? Why do they like things that are shiny and new? It's like they also honour older people and people of an older generation, but they do like things to be new.
Yeah.
And they like showing them off. And they'll have the crappiest house on the most dirty, garbage-covered piece of land, but they'll have a shiny new pickup truck sitting out front.
Yeah.
So it is a thing here in Thailand, and you would have thought that it'd be a burgeoning second-hand market where things are very cheap, but
we do have. Show me a second-hand store here. Show me the church outlet store. Where's the second-hand?
Don't exist
on Phuket. There's a second-hand store that I know of by the Chelong Traffic Circle. It's run by Japanese. It's not run by Thai, and I don't know who's buying there, but I don't think it's Thais. Maybe one of our one or two Thai viewers can illuminate this for us. But it's something you see. I've been seeing it for 35 years, off and on, but I've no clue where it comes from. Why? Yeah, I mean, you see it on the temples. There's always construction in the temples because there's more merit made when you build something new than when you repaint something old that obviously needs repainting.
Now, having said all that, I've been, as I'm renovating these properties, I like getting a hold of old second-hand things and giving them a bit of a repaint and a new life. Yes.
You should have seen me before we started this show.
Gappy tooth and everything.
Yeah. I've had the makeover.
So, but it is hard to get second-hand stuff. So that there isn't, they haven't, whilst wanting all this new stuff, they haven't really developed the opportunity for people to pick up the second-hand stuff. Second-hand cars are usually much the same price as a brand new car. They don't understand that you've got to actually lower the price to move it on. Because I'm trying to buy second-hand chairs and second-hand tables, and you go to places like Facebook Marketplace, and they're just full of scammers these days. You go, oh, that looks like a good price. That looks like what I want. And you contact them, they say, oh, send me the money and you can come and have a look at it. I thought, no, it sort of works the other way around.
Yeah.
So many times I've gone to buy things and they're saying, yeah, no problem, just send us the money.
Yeah.
What? So, I'm not sure what they're going to do with all this second-hand stuff around, but I don't seem to see it available.
It gets thrown over the wall into the klong. Everything, once you've used something, whoop, it goes away. And 100 years ago, that was banana leaves. Everything came wrapped in a banana leaf. You threw it over the wall into the klong. That was fine. It was gone. They're still doing that with plastic and metal and glass, and it's a big problem. May I tell you an anecdote about old things and the value thereof? Yes, you can stand at the ready with Bob the Duck.
Bob. Sorry, was there a meeting that I missed?
Oh,
where we were discussing the name of the duck?
No, I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. We can call it anything you want. Quackers.
We've only done 50
Quacky.
shows. It's about time we named the duck. Bob, apparently.
Bob the Duck. Ladies and gentlemen,
Steve
may I introduce Bob the Duck. Bob, how you doing? See, he answers to the name.
Yeah, well, I'll just leave the two of you together.
All right.
And,
it's now the Bob and Steve show. Oh, I was going to... It doesn't move. So anyway, 30 years ago, there was a guy who was a writer for Phuket Magazine. I was writing for Phuket Magazine. This guy said he was new on the island. He was still all starry-eyed and enthralled.
Oh, we see them all the time.
Oh, yeah. He was a newbie's noob. But he was writing articles for the magazine. The place of rice culture in Southeast Asia. The Buffalo's place in Southeast Asian culture. He's lecturing in the magazine about Thailand. He'd been here 2 weeks or something. And that's how that's what's happening on YouTube today. You can literally see people stepping off the plane in their YouTube channel, and the title of it is, I'm going to tell you, The Real Thailand. I'm going to show you the real Thailand.
Anyway, you digress.
I digress. Push the duck. So, Bob, did I digress? Yes. So anyway. So he was looking for a house, a place to live, and he also had let me know that, Steve, you seem very happy with this woman you're living with, which I was. And, boy, I'd really like to have what you have. I'd like to have a nice house and a nice woman and everything. And as it happened, my girlfriend at the time had a girlfriend from school. She was going to college or high school in the evenings and trying to finish high school. She hadn't had the chance to finish high school, and so she was trying to, in adult education, finish high school. She knew another student, and these two girls became friends. And the friend said, I don't have enough money. I'm going to have to go, to work in the bars. And my girlfriend was asking me, do you have a farang for my girlfriend so she doesn't have to go work in the bars? So I said, well, hey, I know this beautiful old teak house, this beautiful old traditional house. Why don't we take him out there and we'll bring your friend and we'll look at the house and he'll look at her and she'll look at him.
Sounds like the plot of a murder mystery.
Right? We get there, or a teen romance. We get there and we've come in two cars. The two girls came in a car and the two guys came in a car, and me and Chris was his name. We get out of our car and the house is gorgeous. I mean, the house is like 100 years old. It's like off the cover of a book, off a postcard. It's beautiful, and it's set out in the pineapple plantation, and it's got green all around it, and the mountains. Phuket means mountain, and there are mountains there. It's beautiful vistas and views. And I'm just like, every time I looked at that house, my jaw hung open. And Chris was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful, so traditional. The girl wouldn't get out of the car. She wouldn't, because it was an old house. She would rather go hook in a bar than be with Chris in this house because it's 100 years old. She had no interest in living in an old, beautiful, traditional wooden house.
Very interesting.
Yeah, no interest. Wouldn't get out of the car.
It took you 5 minutes to get there, but I mean, it was a good story in the end.
For me, 5 minutes is quick.
Sure.
You know that.
Sure.
And
Okay.
only 4 digressions in progress. That's,
So
I'm learning. I'm becoming better
While
at this.
Steve is catching his breath, we would be interested to know what you think about this idea of Thais wanting everything shiny and new. So please tell us.
You're leaning. Why can I not lean?
Well, you're so much heavier than me. You tip the balance.
Oh.
Why do people in Thailand like things shiny and new? We'd be interested to know. Next one.
And could you pull this knife out of my back, please?
Moving
I just
forward.
got stabbed in the back. The Thai
I'll get
ethic
out my
of,
white pencil. Watch out.
there is a Thai ethic of, meh, good enough.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes.
These bundles of wires and the electric, meh, it's good enough.
Now, just speaking of digression, we are going to be talking about, it's okay, it's done. But this soft power, have you heard about the Thai government and the TAT saying they're going to promote Thailand, not with temples and beaches and bars and stuff, they're going to use soft power. So things like Blackpink or things like
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai,
Yeah.
these sort of cultural and the personalities and the things that are already out there that people like, and they associate with Thailand, so Thailand gets this reflected glory and makes you want to go and visit it. All right, I get the idea. But some Thai officials have just got this soft power thing in their head, and everything's soft power now, such that they're actually going to promote places that you can go and see the electricity cables all wound up, because apparently foreigners are just waiting to come to Thailand to go and see this latest soft power cultural phenomenon
Klong's clogged with trash.
of the all the cabling. You know the cabling we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's all the communication cabling, all the black plastic coils.
Yeah.
Well, some of it isn't even in coils. Most
No.
of it's just dangling there.
Yeah, it's just
But
it's like
there's
spider
a
webs.
very, very, very good one in Asok Road, just one block up from the Asok BTS, heading north. Very, very busy intersection. Anyway, we are talking about good enough.
Eh, there's a wall that runs along my property line, and it makes a very distinct shallow S curve in the wall, and it's because
Earthquakes?
thanks, dude. Yeah, it's okay. We're just talking here. You go on.
Turbocharged too.
I think what happened was 2 guys started building this wall from opposite ends, and they met in the middle, and they didn't line up, so they made this gentle curve to where the two will meet.
I love it.
And you stand at the end and you look down it, and it's a very pronounced S curve. So there's example. Somebody thought this table was good enough.
This table's that thick.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing to make it shake.
Don't move. Don't move. Don't breathe. Yeah. Okay.
There we go. That's
All right.
a little better. I am
Okay.
less likely. But you see it. Cham Nan, love him to death. Cham Nan, best friend in the world, who also I pay to be my friend and pay to do odd jobs around the house.
You paid other people to be your friend.
Oh yeah, short time, yeah. Cham Nan's been with me for 18 months now. Not with me, but
It's
he
the
comes every
best
day.
relationship you've ever had. It's certainly the most healthy relationship.
You're not far wrong. You're not far wrong. And, part of that is we're both getting what we want out of the relationship, and we don't ask each other for anything more than what we both came to it expecting. He gets odd jobs, and he gets money for odd jobs. I get these odd jobs that I don't want to do done, and somebody comes to my house every day and makes sure I'm not lying with a broken hip on the bathroom floor, So we're both getting what we want out of it. But I asked him to paint. I told you we're painting the inside of my old sushi restaurant home. And so he started the first wall, and I said, look, part of the problem is the ceiling doesn't quite meet the wall in this spot. The ceiling meets the wall in the rest of the room, but halfway along this particular wall, there's a good half-inch gap there.
Ventilation.
And so, well, it's something's made a nest up there, and their feces or whatever has dripped down the wall in this one
I
spot.
thought we'd get through the show without saying feces, but anyway, there you go.
Next week, I promise, I won't
Right.
say feces. But at any rate, I said to Chum, there's one reason I want to paint and start with this part of the wall, because I don't like these streaks, these brown streaks. And when I moved in a year ago, the first thing I said was, I got to paint that right away. I can't look at that every day, but I have for a year. So I said to Chum Nan, go buy the paint, buy the brushes, buy the rollers, buy the pan, buy the drop cloths, buy the tape, and buy a tube of liquid nails.
You neglected to tell him one thing.
What's that?
The colour.
Oh, no, I told him the color. I explained to him as well as I could.
Explained the colour.
That's what I wanted. And what I ended up with, or this nice, beautiful light blue, and what I ended up with was more like that. And, you know, it's in the same family of colors, but it's not what I asked for.
So you explained the colour rather than giving him a Pantone chip and say, get that colour matched precisely. I fucked up. But at any rate, so he comes back, he's got the liquid nails, he goes up on the ladder. Now, granted, gravity is not on your side in this task. It's a half-inch gap. That's a very wide gap. What he should have done is put a bead along both sides of that gap, let it dry. Come back tomorrow. Put a bead along both sides that will cling to that previous bead. Let that dry. Eventually, you have filled in that gap. No. He went, and then he took his fingers. It's liquid nails. It doesn't come off. And he's like, up, oh my liquid
God.
Nails. Why not get like another turbocharged truck? You don't use liquid nails to fill a hole. You use liquid nails to...
Yeah, latex caulk or something would have been nice.
Yes,
I know. Again...
Same problem.
My bad. But at any rate, it ended up a great big mess. And I'm just going to live with it. He's painted over the part that's on the wall. And the rest of it now, of course, it's sagged and bowed, right? So this film of brown liquid nail product is now kind of like it.
So rather than sort of hiding the feces that are dripped down there, it actually looks like
it's
feces.
A new problem. But he's happy with it. He's Dina. So okay,
and the colour looks like a public toilet.
It's not worth getting a divorce over. It actually, I'll tell you what, you hang art on that blue and the art pops. It does show off the art. Oh, the reason I was talking about Phang Nga.
Who's Phang Nga?
Phang Nga is the artist who makes things.
Up in Khao Lak.
Yeah, with trash.
Yeah.
And part of it, I think, is that, I wash every piece of trash that comes in my house. I wash, I drain the butane out of the lighters.
Just put the sugar down, okay?
No! I need something. I need a beer bottle I can peel the label off. You ever done that? Sit in a bar and peel the label off a beer bottle?
Most people drink it, Steve. But
At
anyway,
any rate, I don't drink beer. At any
Phang
rate,
Nga.
so Phang Nga has a different ethic. He'll take trash right out of the ocean, the way it is, covered in sand, covered in oil, smelling like dead fish, and he'll nail it to a board and hang that board on the wall. And a lot of it is visually very striking. He went to college in Bangkok and got a degree in art, studio art. He's he makes his living as an artist. But the stuff he does with trash off the beach, he doesn't alter the trash in any way.
But he'll more authentic.
He'll paint on top of it. He'll daub thick old used house paint on top of it. It looks like trash, which is his point. He wants it to look like trash, right? I don't. I want people to come up to my pieces and go, "What is that? Wait, those are lighters. Look, those are all lighters off the beach. That's trash. Isn't that neat?" I want them to question the material and question, is it art? Never mind what Marcel Duchamp said about art. If you hang it on the wall, it's art. Well, okay, is it? Is this trash still trash, or is it art now? And if I took it off the wall and threw it in the garbage can, would it still be art in the garbage can? At any rate, so his trash is good enough. He settles for taking it as it is out of the beach, out of the ocean, instead of cleaning it and sorting it and organizing it, popping open all the lighters like I do and draining the gas out of the lighters. No, it's good enough. It's good enough the way it comes out of the ocean. Yeah, the ethic of good enough.
Yes, many times I've had tasks done by different handy people, like plumbers and carpenters and electricians, and they sort of never, people building houses, they never quite finish the place. They don't put that last bead of silicone on the sink. They paint. They don't quite sort of go up to the edge, or they leave the bit of beading across the top. There's always something they just haven't quite finished the job. And when you say, "Oh, are you going to sort of finish that last bit?" Why?
Yeah. Or they'll say, yes, of course.
Yes.
We go now, but tomorrow I will come back and finish it.
And tomorrow means sometime in the future.
If you've paid him already, he's not coming back.
Never coming back.
Never. It's good enough.
Having said that, I have found gold in Thailand. I've got an excellent handyman who has been reliable, efficient, mostly reliable, but very honest, very skilled, does a great job.
Mm-hmm.
And,
there you go.
But I do have a problem, and the problem is, well, it's my problem. I don't speak Thai. He doesn't speak a word of English. So that's okay. He's got really good skills. I want to work with him. So this is the way it goes. Do you think we need the 9-foot or the 12-foot rafter? And then it says in Thai something to him.
My hovercraft is full of eels.
That's right. Your mother smells of elderberry or something. And then he sort of looks at me going,
what?
I go,
when did you meet my mother?
And so then he gets his phone out and we have these conversations. And all we want to do is decide whether we're going to get the 9-foot or the 6-foot. And like half an hour later, we're both exhausted by having to re-say things and look at each other and try and second guess what they're saying. And I'm never quite sure if he's actually really got the answer or not.
No.
Do you understand? Yes.
Yeah, sure.
I can see no, he doesn't have any idea what I'm talking about. So after half an hour with my builder, lovely guy, and by the way, he's about, speaking of Hobbit, he's short of stature, and so I'm sort of da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
But he's a lovely guy and highly recommended craftsman. But the conversations I have with him are just exhausting. And I'm not just sort of exaggerating. I am exhausted after half an hour.
Oh yeah, no, I believe you, and I would recommend learning more Thai. Except that I have those same encounters with Cham Nan. This is a guy I've talked to every day.
But you speak to Thai.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't speak well enough to avoid those conversations you're talking about. Like, we end up with liquid nails in the ceiling and things like that.
And public toilet blue paint.
Yeah, yes. And at some point, I think you either start to relax your standards or you go mad.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of guys I watch a lot of Thai themed videos, and that some guy does 4 or 5 videos in a row about putting a swimming pool in behind his house in Pizzanulok, and he'll get 4 or 5 weeks of content out of that. And it's always, the guy's frustrated. You can tell this guy's going to throw rocks at his dog. He's so upset because he can't get the guys, the contractors, the tradies to do what he wants them to do. Well, you either relax your standards and go with, decide you like what they're doing for you, or you go home, man. Don't
just on that. I've got a sloped single plane roof called a mono roof.
Well, at least you have a roof now.
In architectural
you went,
circles.
almost a month without a roof.
Sure. Well, and the reason for that is that he was away from time to time. That, by the way, is the colour of Steve's wall. Thank you very much. And where was I? I've lost my train of thought. He was away quite a lot, and I'd sort of say, "Oh, are you coming to work on the house today?" And when we're sort of talking on messaging, it's usually a bit better because he's got time to sort of do a Google Translate. Anyway, he said, "Oh, I've got to go to a funeral today." Well, honestly, in the last month,
they go to a lot of funerals, don't they?
Most of his family's died.
I'd be dead by now.
In the last month. A lot of. But anyway, we had to get this mono roof constructed, and it starts at 0 at one end, and at the other end, it's going to be 600, 700, 800, maybe 1,000 millimeters. 1,000 mil. That's about a yard. Okay.
Yeah, it's
That's
a meter, isn't
That's
it?
about 2
Yeah.
gallons.
I thought,
Don't.
Jesus, Steve.
So here
Like
we
I've
were.
never done this.
Will we make it 800 millimeters high? Do you think we should use teak or plastic? I don't know what he's hearing, but he sort of looks at me going, I think yellow. Or something like that. I go, oh no. I'm going, 800 millimeter. And it goes on and on. And in the end I said, and then he said,
Hello.
Oh, no, sure. And then, so in the end I said, just do it the way that you want.
Yeah. At some point, you like yellow. You know, you like yellow. You say, all right, I'm fine with yellow. And then you're hopefully pleasantly surprised when it is exactly 1,000 millimeters.
No. Then I go, oh God, I wish I'd spent more time translating it. Now we're trying to decide on white. Now, when you say white, there's 100 different whites, thousands of different whites. Gallery white, which is basic white that you get in the tin, everybody tints their white just a little bit, whether they want to make it a little bit blue, not quite as blue as Steve's public toilet wall, but you might make it a little bit grey or a little bit yellow, which we usually call champagne. So I want to come back in my next life.
Eggshell, off-white,
Arctic grey.
Yeah.
I want to come back in my next life and be the namer.
The guy who makes up the names.
Then of the colours.
Sure, right.
Oh,
yeah.
I'd love that job.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Coral peach.
I think you'd be good at it.
I think I'd be
Yeah,
great
I think
at
you'd
it.
be good at it. Yeah. Send a resume to Jotun Paints.
It could be a new career for me in the future. I might be a bit of a late bloomer, but I think that could be something I can aspire to.
It has taken you this long to refine your color palette.
Yes.
Now you can do the job. It's like the guys who work in the perfume factories in France. The nose guys, the smellers, they're all in their 70s because it takes you that long to learn your instrument.
You can't find the factory because you're too old, but
Yeah.
boy, can you smell.
Yeah.
They smell their way to the factory.
They do, yeah.
Oh, it's this way.
Louis comes this way.
Yeah.
I apologize to all my French viewers.
Have you ever seen the Catherine
Americans
Tate?
are crude.
The Catherine Tate skit, which she's talking in the different. Oh, anyway, I'm sure you've seen Catherine Tate do her speaking in all those languages. Anyway, I think. Do you have anything else to talk about? Oh, we spoke about. Yeah, we've done that.
Yes, one last thing.
One more thing.
And it's very brief. It's a. Have I had crumbs on my chin this whole time? We have to do this again. We have to start over. I had fish crumbs on my face. Anyway, we had spoke one time about playing cards being illegal in Thailand, and how you and could you don't see them for sale anywhere, and people jumped into the guys. I love these guys. I love you guys. They jump into the comments and say, "Well, of course, cards are legal in Thailand. You can buy them at the 7-Eleven. They keep them behind the counter, underneath, out of sight. And you have to ask the girl for them." Then they're not legal, dude. That's why they're behind the counter. But at least now we know that you can buy them in some 7-Elevens. You have to ask for them. And the next question came from a viewer. Are dice legal? Because you never see dice in Thailand except in a casino. Where I come from, you see
Should the
people...
question be, is dye available?
Are die.
There you go. Are dye available?
No, I think die is the singular. A pair of dice.
Oh, dear.
I think a pair of dice. Yeah, a pair of dice. At any rate, where I come from,
Hey,
there are
Siri,
neighborhoods
what's the
where you can
plural
see
of
people
dice?
shooting crap in alleyways any day of the week. I don't see any. I've seen people playing cards. They have to pull the drapes and lock the
plural form is dice.
Right.
You're right.
They draw the drapes. They put a towel under the crack in the door.
What are they doing?
Playing cards.
Oh, good. Checking, man.
Yeah, it's all done very surreptitiously. I've seen them play cards and seen them take these measures to not get arrested. I've never seen anyone play with dice. So, a question to the Brain Trust. Have you seen
The
dice?
Library of Congress.
Are they legal? Can you buy them? Is Steve just has to get out of the house more? He doesn't
I've never
see
seen
dice?
a die or a dice
Yeah.
in Thailand.
So that was my last thing.
Yeah. About the I'm glad cards weren't illegal in Australia because
Yeah.
I built my first boat from fleecing young Chinese exchange students at cards. In another era. It just seems so long ago, mainly because it was.
That's a fachi. See
That is a far chi.
There's some nice old traditional stuff here. Somebody
Fachi.
had input here who does value old things. Some I brought on the old style, the old-fashioned things.
And I love old things so much, well, apart from talking to you, that I also have renovated 3 old fishermen's cottages and making them have a new life as short-term rentals. If you want to come to Thai Mueang Beach, I think 2 of them at least soon are going to have new signs out the front. Am I correct?
Soonish, yes. Soonish, yes.
Okay. And all these people walking past, and
They're
to
getting
a
the show
fault,
for free.
every single one of them is saying, we have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
Every single
Fine
one.
with me. I don't know who they are either.
Okay. And with that, it's 51 minutes and 12 seconds. I've said as much as I need to. You've said far too much.
Yeah.
So welcome back to Grumpy Old Men. As I think I've got something coming from Lazada. I'll call them back in a moment. So thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you. Welcome back.
We'll invent a feud next week for those people that were wondering. And we'll try and keep the show going every week. It's just I've been impossibly busy spending at least 7 hours a day on Google Translate. It's not been in the mood to have to put up with Steve.
And I've been walking on the beach picking up trash.
So
2 very different lives.
please subscribe to the channel. And subscribe to Steve's channel, which is Steve Ross with an E. And Bob, apparently Bob doesn't have a channel yet.
Yet.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. I love you guys.